Okay, so today we are going to be making a Snickerdoodle cake. It's a great recipe. We love Snickerdoodles in our family. My grandmother taught me how to make them when I was a little girl. And we have kind of transformed it into a cake version. So I'll show you the basis of the recipe. Of course, you always have to have fat and sugar. So today we're using Crisco shortening and regular sugar right here. We have milk, eggs. This is pastry flour, baking powder, and salt. So the first thing we're gonna do is start by creaming our fat and our sugar together. Start off by creaming, the shortening, and the sugar. We're going to go ahead and add in our eggs. This part gets a little bit tricky because you have to alternately add flour and milk. And don't forget to scrape your sides. I added in the cinnamon, and now I'm gonna finish with the milk, and then it's ready to be put into the pans. As you can see, it's beautiful, all mixed together. We don't want to overmix those, so we're going to stop there and put it in our containers. Okay, so I like to measure things very evenly, so I have 3 different pans that I'm putting it in. So I'm going to use my 1 cup measuring cup and kind of scrape it in there like that. Okay, now we've got our cakes all measured out into our pans. The reason why we're using these is because they're for a very special friend of ours who just turned 13. Happy birthday, Gabe. We make this cake for him, or we've made it the last couple of years, so this is a really special recipe for us. So we are now gonna make our crumble topping, but you can also put this in just a standard 9x13 Pyrex pan. That would work just the same, but we want to make it disposable, so that's why we have it in these little metal tins. So we're gonna move this aside and we're gonna make our cinnamon crumble topping. Right here we have 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We have 1.5 cups of flour, so we're gonna mix that together. My son has taken the liberty of grating the butter for us, and that was really cold butter. The reason why we grate it is because we're going to cut the fat in the butter together. That's a term I use often, cutting it together. And so it's good to have it in as small of pieces as possible. We're just gonna take our pastry cutter and kind of start going like this. All right, Will's mixing that up pretty good. He's using the pastry cutter to cut that all together. I'm gonna add in some of the cinnamon there. Okay, so this is one of the best parts about this cake, and what you really want to do is be able to kind of grab this and mash it together like this. It should look like wet crumbly sand, and you can just kind of mash it like this. See, it's all nice and incorporated. Now we're gonna put it on top of our cake. I'm also gonna add a little bit more cinnamon, but that I can just mix in by hand. Put a generous amount of this crumble topping on there. You can always smooth it out in a minute. Just like that, now in the oven. Here's that Snickerdoodle cake. It fell a little bit because we put so much topping on it, but that's okay. It's still gonna be amazing.